The most stressful time is being alone. That's when you get to learn who you are and how strong you are.
I felt like you waited for me to be at this vulnerable time now to have, oh, you did this a couple years ago to me. And it was just like, nah, like I'm really strong.
And I thought, you know what, that's why sometimes when you're in a position to help someone, help them, because no one would have known 10 years down the line he would be helping me. What was my parents thinking? Because now they wouldn't want their grandkids walking off. Never. Imagine people sit there waiting for you to get to your highest peak. If they don't send a woman to come try act like she fancies you, they send one man to come friend you up, or they send one of your own family to come try set you up.
Me sitting down in Assembly Hall in front of Sadiq Khan and Boris Johnson and telling them exactly how we feel and how us young parents and how it is has changed a lot of laws and housing situations. So a lot of people after that got housed.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks again for all your support. Thanks for all the subscriptions, the likes and the sharing. We're slowly growing. Very, very happy. Thank you all again. Today and January, I have challenged myself as I'm a bit competitive. I'm challenging myself and starting with overcoming the little habits with leadership and focus. So as I've said before the new year, I started having my leadership skills with making sure that I do my episodes, get down, prepare myself, and staying focused no matter what the chaos or anything is. But today is a special day. We have a special guest. It is Gwenton Solely. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a long time. Been watching your whole journey from teenagers to adults.
True.
And I wanted to first tell you congratulations. Thank you for doing that, Israel, and having a transition and giving us from our area and where we come from the faith and the little knowledge that we can actually make a change. Doesn't matter where you come from, what you do. So I wanted to firstly congratulate you that. Second of all, how was taking leadership for you?
I think when you're brought up a certain way, it's instilled in you from young. So certain things that someone else might see as, oh, you wanting to be the leader, it's a thing of the way that I've been brought up. I was traveling home at 5 years old on a bus by myself. So when I've come to England and I'm having to go primary school, I'm going primary school in year 4 by myself because I've been doing that back home. Other parents are dropping their kids to school. So when you're walking to school in the cold by yourself, you learn that, you know what, I'm different to the other kids in the school. No one would come to pick me up at 3 o'clock. I was walking home. You understand? So them little things there built everything in you for when you move on to secondary school and everything else, because it's like their parents pick them up, yours ain't coming.
It's a bit like a West Indian thing, because for me, as much as, like you say, you walk to school, I think from like year 4, year 5, I was walking to school and going to school by myself. And if my mom had a job where she was finishing a little bit later, once she told the school that I'm making my way home and she has to call the house phone and I'm there before it is, obviously there's people in the house, but I'm still making my way home. So I think it's kind of like a cultural thing of fighting it, where it's in our generation.
Yeah.
We started independent. Also, not now.
I would let my was go over there for that. I'm picking you up because I don't know if someone's gonna snatch you on the way home. It's like, even when you look at that, you realize that, wait a minute, what was my parents thinking? Because now they wouldn't want their grandkids walking home, never. So I think they knew that we were built for this, and certain challenges that came along the way had to come because it was installed in you. It got me in problems along the way because me and certain people didn't get along. So
When you're a leader, you did to stand up what you believe in and no one else can't change your mind. So
but you know what it is again? It comes with challenges and sometimes it's a lonely place. I remember when I decided that I'm going to leave all of that street stuff alone and walk away, everyone thought I was mad. And only a few people, about 3 people, but they've been my friends from young. So if I slam in a jump off a bridge, they won't come jumping with me, but they'll be like, all right, we're gonna stand by the side. So when you come back, yeah, we're here, but we're with you, but we're not jumping. And those 1 or 2 friends have stayed throughout the course, because it's like there's something with this guy. Whatever madness he says he's gonna do, he ends up pulling it off. And for me, I think that just having them there when you come back to say, you know what, I like the way you done that, made me have to go out and win. So there wasn't any doubt in my mind that I'm gonna lose. No matter what I had to do, it has to come off good. So yeah, give thanks for that all the time. Even the haters as well, because you have to remember this. When you're the bad guy, and I've been the bad guy most of my life, when you're the bad guy, the courage that you get from the jealousy and the hating, oh my God, it drives you. So sometimes it's best not being liked, because it pushes you so much that you're like, what should I do next?
Right. Because for me, taking leadership, well, I've always been quite of a leader, I think, in myself, or stubborn in things that I believe in from a young age. So whereas 5 friends would want to go where they're not supposed to go, I'm not going. So she's always the boring one. Whenever I try all new things, I'm not trying it, because I've seen firsthand what it does. So I'm not really getting involved in certain things. So yeah, as a girl, being a leader, it comes with, she thinks she's too nice, or she thinks it's, so I don't get that support. No one will never tell me you're doing good, or no one will say, oh, that looks great, or I don't get that from girls. I'll get that more from males. So that's why growing up, I was always around more males than the females. And it gets hard because, like I said, I had to learn that way. Got me being lonely in my teenage years because I wanted to be a leader, and then having all the haters and so much things to say. And it was like, oh, so when I'm doing stuff, nothing's never good enough. But when I'm doing bad to fit in, oh, come. So I learned from like 17, 18, oh, standing by yourself is a lonely, but I don't mind being a villain. I don't mind, because it's kind of preserved.
But the thing is, again, what we have to admit is the most stressful time is being alone, because that's when you get to learn who you are and how strong you are. Because when people are sitting there every day waiting for you to fail, it does impact you. Whether you try and pretend that it doesn't, it is something that, especially if things are not going right as well. So something comes up in your life and it throws you off course. That plus the hating makes it even worse, because it's like my world's crumbling, but now they're watching as well. So it's like they're watching as I'm crumbling.
That's my cancer journey. So going through my cancer journey, that was the biggest highlight, because I'm an adult now. I carried things from young, oh yeah, whatever, whatnot. But having the cancer and then watching and having to see people, I wouldn't say they were glorified that I had cancer, but it was like, this is the first time she's weak. She's a bit weak. She's crumbling. She's not really, attacking things as she was, or she's not taking the leadership that much. She's kind of taking. So I think with that, I had to actually, it forced me to sit back and reanalyze everything again. Like, how can I have cancer, not feeling attractive for myself, and not feeling confident, and not feeling me, and then someone else wants to have a cause about me like my mental's normal? Or silly little everyday things. Oh, you spoke to that one, you didn't speak. Oh, you went to that function, but you didn't go to that one. Oh, you did this, but you didn't do that. I felt like you waited for me to be at this vulnerable time, now to have, oh, you did this a couple years ago to me. Oh, this is, and it was just like, rah, like I'm really strong. I actually must be that powerful that you had to wait for me to be at my weakest point
To tell
me anything you wanted to tell me, show me who you really was, all them type of things. It was like, oh, okay, so I have to stay kind of by myself, and I have to take a leadership to another level. I have to put the boundaries, but up the boundaries, stick to them, focus on them, and make sure that everyone can see, okay, this is not the same her. Because even that, transitioning with that, how was that for you, knowing that people have to accept that they know you, they know who you are, but your new path is not where where they're going, if you know what I'm saying.
You know, what you just said there is such a statement that it should be in everyone's house. you know the old me. I got friends that I haven't spoken to for over 20 years. And they're talking about the 15, 16-year-old person that they knew. And they're passionate, like, the guy is dodgy, the guy is this. I'm like, wait a minute, like, I don't even know you. Yeah, do you understand? So one of the things, and I was saying it to someone in the week, I took a lot of beatings for a lot of people, you know. And I'm gonna publicly say this, today is this. When I decided to transition, there weren't no blueprint of how to do this. And I remember I got a job working in Hackney at the same time that there was a load of confusion. People have been murdered, and I'm trying to navigate around the madness and whatever else. And I'm working in the heart of the area that the madness is going on in, and people looking at me like I'm a youth worker. Them time I'm giving people houses. The amount of people that have house, you'd be surprised, yeah? And I remember one day, one of my staff came to me and said to me, I need to write a letter for someone, yeah? Very funny story. But he wasn't at the level to write the letter for the person he wanted to write the letter for. It had to come from a manager. And I decided that, you know what, I'm going to write the letter for this person. I've never spoken to the person before in my life. He's supposedly meant to be the boss of Hackney. We have to laugh about that. But when I wrote the letter, I didn't want nothing back from the guy. I just done it because I'm like, you know what? I'm in a position to help a man come out of jail. Let me write the letter. And I wrote that letter. And one of the reasons why I wrote the letter is this. If I'm helping you, you're meant to be this guy that everyone loves and whatever else. But I'm allowed to write a letter for you. How could then everybody else be on to me because I'm giving people houses? And I think one of the things that you just said there is, yeah, people didn't understand the levels that I was operating at. So they thought that I was in a youth club. I was with the people on witness protection. I was working with terrorists. I was working with people that just got shot. But when you move away from the roads, people can't comprehend that you was just out here probably running a stand, because most of them were victims of my, to now you're giving people houses. I remember a guy come in the office and he said to the manager, I don't want that house because Gwenton is going to come back and rob me. And I was like, bro, come on, man. You see, I'm trying to change. And that happened number of times.
Just past it keeps dragging you back, dragging you back, dragging you back.
And now to see that because of the lashes that I took, oh, you talk to the feds, oh, you're a snitch, all of that. And I'm like, I went to jail and no comment and done my time. And now people happily hang out with the police and pretend to do knife crime, but really they're paying their bills.
Yeah.
And no one stands back and says, you know, my man took the lashes for us to be cool to say we're at community meetings fighting knife crime.
We're leading, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your leadership has now opened doors for other people and other males to watch you. Because me as a female, I've watched you. I've been blessed for me to be around you and grow up and see. And you've been kind of a mentor to me growing up till this day. But I find that a lot, we've all just watched you. Like, if you can do it, there must be a possible home somewhere. And I know it's that a lot of females have tried and they are doing, I mustn't say try, because not downplay their thing, but they're doing. And then we've got, like I said, you had to take the lashing. On the other side, that for me, when I was going through my housing situation, so to those that didn't know, I was homeless for a little while. And when Hackney was, you know, taking me for a ride, I decided to go to the newspaper. Now, someone that's known in Hackney to a few people will be, oh my God, she's homeless. She went in the newspaper. She looked my shot. I can't believe she did that. But me going to the newspaper, my story getting to Assembly Hall, me sitting down in Assembly Hall in front of Sadiq Khan and Boris Johnson and telling them exactly how we feel and how us young parents and how it is, has changed a lot of laws and housing situations. So a lot of people after that got housed.
Yeah. So they didn't have to end up.
So they didn't have to end up going through what I went through, because maybe God said I was strong enough for me to take it, to challenge it, to help other people. And that's what some people don't see. Even though you're allowed to be the villain and where you want to be and you want to change and transition, you still had that in you to help people. And you still had a heart that even though you was a villain in some people's story, you can still come back
But you
and
know,
still help them.
but you know what? Sometimes being the villain is better than being loved because you don't know if you really be loved. And I remember I wrote my book as well because that was a big problem. And I decided that I'm going to name the book From the Streets of Scotland Yard. Because once I'd done that, I knew people got to buy it. A lot of them couldn't read, so they were just
Straight away. About straight away, I was ready in like a day or two, real quick.
page 21, your name's on there. So the little guy now running just to page 21, and I'm like, yeah, go buy it, man. And then I remember someone said to me, but where's the snitching? You're meant to be snitching. I'm like, that was the reason I made you buy the book. Yeah. You didn't learn nothing. Loads of people who wrote books after. No one stopped to say, oh, yeah, you know what? Thank you. So it's like you do stuff, but you can't look for people to publicly say thanks because it might never come. When I saw another friend of mine in Brixton writing a book, Elijah or Jaja Sud, it was because of him why I decided to know what I could do better than that. Let me go write my book. But I will always pay homage to him because if I didn't read his book, it wouldn't have seemed tangible that, we used to roll on the road together. Now my man's got a book. So people need to learn to say, you know what, thanks for that. And not feel like it's going to kill you to pay homage to somebody else. And even that same guy that I wrote the letter for funny enough, and I decided that I'm going to run for the mayor Hackney. So after running 2 by-elections for councillor, people were saying to me, you're not from Lewisham, come back home and run, we'll vote for you. So I said, all right, let's see if you vote for me then. And I came home and I said, I can either run for MP, but I thought, nah, why am I going to go for MP? I'm coming home now. Let me go for the biggest seat in the borough to show people that you can. Best man ever lived the life I've lived. I'm running for the mayor. I run for the mayor. And the same guy I wrote the letter for, funnily enough, bless his soul, posted me at 7:30 in the morning. And I'm going to say his name, Kyle. Me and him are cool, so I don't care. Toady. And I remember I saw him and his brother Ned before Ned passed. And I've known Ned from when I was a kid. And the way Ned was happy to see that I was doing what I was doing, I was like, Ross, so you man watch me as well, you know, like. And I remember I drove back, because we went to get some tickets for one of his raves. And I drove back and I thought, right, they're man there watching my thing as well. It feels good. And for me, it was like, that was my payback for that letter 10 years ago. A man posted me, and because he posted me, the rappers and the rude boys by 9 o'clock were inboxing me. I'm like, right, you don't talk to me. But the big man has said, bridge down, go and vote for my man. Funny enough, it was the week after voting. But still, you understand? So I looked at that and I thought, rah, so because he's supporting it, then it's now cool. And I thought, you know what, that's why sometimes when you're in the position to help someone, help them, because no one would have known 10 years down the line he would be helping me running an election.
That's what's kind of brought me here 3rd time round, because I kept on starting, even though my journey was about the cancer. There's so much more around that I feel like us as a community and people, especially from our generation, we've kind of left it to the younger ones, where we have our different mindset, and we haven't really, we've tried to tell the younger ones, we've tried what we can do, but I feel like I was stuck on the message I was trying to put across. Now, cancer's taught me certain things, and I don't want to just be dwelling on cancer. Yeah. Certain times I'm going to be talking about it, but these are type of conversations that I think we actually need, and people need to see that you're not having just a political interview. You're having a chilled interview. You're still somebody. You still have a personality. You still help people. There's a lot of things you do behind the scene that people don't know. So my message was to try and get as much people like yourself who take leadership, what it comes with. You're not alone. You know, things can happen, but okay, if he can do it and she can do it, maybe I can try just this little way. Maybe I can start going to the career path I actually want to do instead of being in a job that I'm just settling down with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to put the power back in everybody and encourage them to go for what they want to go for.
But I think one of the things that you've done this time around is you're sharing the space. So it's like people know you do stuff. The problem with you was, and sometimes people celebrate it, I should soon give that up and do something else. So one minute you're doing makeup you're doing fashion, you're doing hair, you're doing the podcasting, then next thing you disappear, then you're back. Now it's like she's not
I
going.
was sharing my personals. Yeah, that was just saying what I was doing.
So for everyone, it's like,
yeah.
when is she gonna take this serious? And again, people felt threatened because it's like she's gonna take the space by herself. But when they're seeing that you're offering people opportunity, and one of the things that I'm going to publicly say again, which I respect you for, because me and a man was reasoning last night, and me and him was close for years, you understand? And for whatever reason, ego or whatever, being men, two men can't be in the same room at the same time. And me and Robbie was talking, and he said to me, one of the people that, regardless of when me and them were talking, that said, you don't need to sort this out, was you. And when you look at it, only people that really knew the two of us will be like, oh, what you are doing, stupidness. And to look at a 30, 40 of us, if all 40 of us died today, which I'm not planning to go nowhere right now, only me and him have really left a legacy out of the 40 of us. And the fact to see that people tried to do to divide, you look back now and you're like, I get it now, because it's like, even from young, the two of us rolling together, it was too much. You understand? People were like, nah, we need to,
Let's split this up.
let's split them. So when you look back and you see where you and a man can reason after 30 years and looking at the trauma and everything you've gone through and have respect for each other's work, a man's a natural writer. I'm not a writer. So even though I put out a book or I could write a movie script, I'm just an opportunist. I'm not an author. I'm not a politician. I just try to take. And next man will come and that will be their thing and I'll support them. But again, it's about respecting each other, being humble. And I think a lot of people, when they reach a certain place, they're not humble. You called me last minute. I could have told you I'm busy. I'm busy. I got a meeting straight after this, but at the end of the day, if I'm supporting your thing, I'm happy to take that hour out. I'll go sit with strangers and jam with them for an hour, much less my own people. So I think one of the things that people need to understand is no matter how much money you make, no matter how far you could even have a knighthood, no matter what it is, keep yourself humble. And that's one of the things that I'm glad that the people around me have always kept me humble. People ring me all day long, oh, what do you think about this? Could you help me with this? I could easily say, no, let me ask my agent. Yeah, what agent? Which part? You understand?
You say, I'll put a few people in there like, oh, call my manager, my secretary. I was okay. All right.
Yeah, what? The thing is this. When it's your people or someone you respect, you could bypass that agent and publicist and all of that to say, you know what, this is my people. It's just like one of your family members saying, listen, I'm doing something. Are you coming to support? Are you going to tell your family no? So when you really check it, some people allow their ego to get the best of them. And what everyone needs to understand is, no matter how high you go in this place, one wrong move and you could be back out on
Because
it.
I'm a very prideful person, but cancer taught me that, see, ego and pride and all them things is not important, you know? It allows you sometimes to make decisions and stuff like that, but the pride and the ego can sometimes hinder your actual purpose and hinder and stop your blessings from actually where you actually want to go.
That's why I love TikTok, you know. Because on TikTok, I could do whatever I want over there. I could roll on the floor. I could go down slides. I don't care. And I think people need to learn sometimes.
Being yourself, yeah. Be grounded, be yourself. If you've got like a thought or you something you want to stand on, that's you. Yeah. Stop trying to, because I feel like that's where the anxiety and a lot of depression and that comes from nowadays, is that you're this type of way, this is my character, but I have to fight to fit over here.
I think persona. I remember.
And it's the fight, the keeping up with the Joneses and all that. It's a lot of hard work.
You know what it is? Sometimes, I remember I had to become Gwenton again. So even some of my family that were called by another leg. So they'll be like, oh, Q. And I'm like, all right, because my family cool. But if somebody else outside calls me that, I feel uncomfortable because I'm like, I'm not that guy no more, you know? Like,
Associate.
yeah, I don't want to be that person anymore. It's like, that's like a dark space. So when you look at certain people, they live as somebody else and they don't know how to be who they are. It is scarier to be normal and say, no, this is me, I'm naked.
Yeah.
Look at me, than to say, oh, this is me, I'm perfect. And I don't have no flaws. I'm not normal. You understand?
That's the scariest part for me because I'm going to these kinds of conferences and I'm sitting down and they're telling me people in my, are from my culture and they're being like, it's going to be 1 in 2 people. And we're getting younger and younger. And this whole imposter stuff, like I'm saying, not being able to be yourself, taking on all of this, putting on this mask every day before you leave the house, you've got to be this person. And you got all of that contributes to illnesses and these type of things, not being yourself and stress, because it's the stress of running down the money to look like this, to get into the rooms that look like this, and then when the people ask you questions in the rooms, you can't answer
But no,
because your mindset's not even there. You've spent all your time running down the look, and then you get into the room now. Now they ask you an official question, now you're dumb. Now you got to go back home and start again. Now, for a whole month now, you're depressed. You feel stupid because you missed out on the opportunity because you walked out with this mask. And this is what also you want to talk is about.
but you know what else again? Something that we have to be honest and open about. I would rather have a soul than live a lie. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. There's certain listen, there's certain people in certain rooms here, and they've got in them rooms because they've either given up one of their family members or they're playing with certain stuff, thinking that the stuff they're playing with works one way. And
They're the dancehall artists that have their guard ring like they're
but then when something happens to you or your family member, you're then crying. You shouldn't be crying. And this is something that I see happening a lot where people will do anything to get certain places. I'm talking anything.
then when you get into the room,
You don't know how to function or you're not ready for the consequences. And if we look at current affairs where certain people wanted to be musicians and they've gone and joined certain after parties and now the after parties are coming out that they were doing funny stuff down there. Now people are having sleepless nights if their name's going to come out as part of the after parties. And the thing is, at that time, they didn't care what it took to get there.
because it's a lifestyle moment.
It's and this is one of the things with me. I remember someone asked me one time one moment. She said to me, "I heard you sold your soul in Ogun." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah, that's why you've blown so much." I said, "So where do you go when you want to sell your soul? Tell me." Yeah, because I had to ask her, I said, "Where do you know?"
Sleepless nights, to how much feeling is it, to how much you can't get you can't come out, get probation.
I said to her, "Let me explain something to you. I have had one of the roughest times in this place. It's just you don't know. People don't know that I'm at work and people come in trying to harass me for murders. Murders. I have my old ex-friends blaming me for killing their family members. I'm at work minding my own business. My son giving me problems. I've got police raiding me and all sorts. Because I don't talk about
I'm saying a lot of people don't see this side of you and the personal things that you go through because they see the official side is that all the stuff that you take on is allowing other people to have a bit of an easier path.
all right. But
Because you're opening that door.
But then because you don't share that, people make statements that my man's gone clear because you mean I've gone clear? My petrol could be in the yellow as well, you know, like don't get it.
It's the 1-2 direct debit as well.
But people don't see that because you don't come out and say, you know what, this is what I'm dealing with. To them, this guy is different. I have to pay taxes. And when it comes to the January, I'm the
Council taxes is
listen, man, the more money you make is the more tax you have to pay. And don't pay the taxes and see if you don't end up in serious problems. So these are things nobody teach us when we get involved. And I think one of the things as well that we need to make sure we make clear, when you're learning to transition and someone's trying to give you wise counsel, listen.
Because a lot of people think they know it all. 'cause
That's
they
what
watch.
the prideful side of me was like that before. When you have to before, you would say, one or two things I'd be like, I know. But sometimes now I've learned, like I said, because I had to take that 2 years of sitting down, reanalyzing, dealing with the childhood trauma, dealing with the traumas I caused myself, having to accept the decisions I made what got me to whatever stage it was that got me to even have cancer, to make me even sit down. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It is a journey in itself, but taking that time just to sit down and reevaluate yourself. I'm becoming an adult now. Things have to change,
And it's not just you one. Because again,
Everything is the effect.
you got a family and your direct family in your house. You then have to deal with everybody in the house, from the smallest one and the cat. Because the cat can't get his spinning it. If not, the cat starts scratch up the place.
Yeah.
And I think people don't get that once people shut their doors, you got your own family in your house that you have to navigate, much less outside. You understand? And that's an everyday thing. I've got 5 children that every one of them are different.
Every single one is
So
different.
I have to talk to them even in a
Different
language. Different.
different language, different way. And then this man's, oh, that's not fair. How come she can get it?
Yeah.
And because she's different to you.
Yeah.
You're different to her. It's a lot.
And again, you got a partner, you don't have to learn how to deal with them because they might process things different to you.
Yeah. Because down to my partner, I had to learn that this era's dead and gone and this is a new one.
Yeah.
So I had to put boundaries in that as well, especially with the kids, just like with my mom, just like with my siblings, with my dad. I had to put new boundaries in as an adult and stick to them. And whereas my whole family, I'm kind of in certain ways, the glue, they had to be like, oh, she said no.
Shock, yeah.
She said,
Shock, yeah.
but then they had tugging on you for the whole week, just to actually like, did she actually say no? I'm sure my family must have had a family meeting. Like, is she actually telling us?
Sometimes
She's sticking to it.
you need something to remind you to take life serious. And for me, last year was a year of testful thing for me. Beginning of the year, my sister died. Then I'm dealing with family problems with my own youth. Then at the end of the year, right at the end, then my cousin's youth drops dead, 16-year-old playing football. And it just makes you reevaluate everything. You have to say to yourself, you know what, take life seriously. So I went back to the gym because I was out here like one of them uncles thinking that I'm sexy with a big belly and that. And I'm like, no, this ain't sexy. I couldn't even tie up my shoes. You understand? And I thought, nah, this is madness. Went to the gym. I couldn't even do 5 minutes on the treadmill. And I'm like, rah, how did life get like this? And then you realize, rah, I could drop down dead tomorrow. And if I die, there's enough people that's finished because I'm gone. So I have to take care of myself. So sometimes when you're on this journey, it's just the little things like eating at night time or certain time I'm going on visits and I got you trying me, they want burger, I'm having burger. I don't want no burger. I have a salad. But the salad's nasty, but I have to eat that. You understand? So there's a lot of growth that comes with it. And even just losing friends, I remember one of my friends died and me and him were talking at the time. And I just thought to myself, rather, like, my man's gone. And it's not till a year or two after it hits you, like, bro, the guy is actually dead. And like, these are the things when you talk to like old friends and you're like, right, Ted was ever dead. You're like, right, how did we get to like 40 plus and our friends didn't even make it to 20? It's like, they're the things as a big man that start worrying you when you're seeing a 14-year-old getting killed and you've got a teenager.
I'm meeting 16-year-olds, 40-year-olds with breast cancer already, and they're getting younger, and they haven't even had time to have stress.
Yeah.
They haven't had time to even, and the cancer's getting younger, and it's scaring me because I think because I've gone through it, I don't want to see no one else go. I don't want to see none of my people, no one go through it as well, because maybe they're not even strong enough to accept it, let alone to deal with it and to go through treatments and to go through everything else. And then it gets you to a bit where you have to say to yourself, like, you see all this procrastination, I'm just gonna wait. I'll wait until I finish my course. I feel like, because once I finish my treatment, I feel like that's where the confusion went, like you said before. You're doing here, you're doing this. I feel like, hold on. If I'm capable to, I'm doing everything. I'm putting my finger in every pie. I'm learning everything. I'm gonna do it all, because I feel like that was a bit of my mental when after getting it all clear. Like, I don't want to waste no time. I'm looking at people like, would you lying in bed? It's 12 o'clock. Like, get up. You gotta get up. You gotta get dressed. You gotta find, like, write it down when you're supposed to do something. I started getting like that a lot.
And it's the same.
And then you go straight through to the burnout, and you gotta take your time.
Then you slow down, because what happens is the body then tells you, all right, you think you're controlling this thing. I'm going to show you. I remember the one thing I said to you when you was coming through is no more stress. Because I realized a lot of people end up dying because of stress. You understand?
That's what I said I'm scared of, because sometimes now I do a lot of shadow work with cancer people. Like you said, sometimes, I follow them to chemo, talk them through or whatever, whatnot. Some of them are not even mentally strong enough to accept that they have the cancer. So they get up every day like there's nothing. They still go to work. They don't tell their boss. They don't tell their family until the hair starts falling out or they pass out or somebody. And then now then they have to deal with their whole family coming down on them, putting their own insecurities, like their own, why you never tell me? Yeah, because there's women that I met at the beginning of the journey, they're not here now, and they didn't tell their kids. Now their kids feel guilty about that, and it's got nothing to do with them.
Yeah, and my thing is, it's the same thing when I was doing this work, and I'm seeing little kids dying and what. I used to beat myself out, figure out what can I do to save them, and then I had to realize, if I carry on doing this, I'm gonna eat away at my own self. I knew all of their names. I could have 40 clients. I knew all of their names. And the thing is, when they're not dead, I have to see their mum still on the road or their family members. I'm feeling like I'm being moved because I used to work with them and they used dead. Or even people I grew up with, when I see their mums and like even this conversation me and you having it, I see some of their mums and like, oh, I saw you on the TV last week, But it's a look they give you like,
The survivors.
yeah, like, I wish my son was there. And I'm like, I had nothing to do with that, because I weren't even there when your child died. But they look at me in a way like, I'm happy for you, but I wish my son would have made it to this place. And it does have an impact on you, because it's like, right, being the one that made it out. I got friends that are smoking crack right now, and they're proudly smoking crack together. And I see them and they're like, big man. And I'm like, no, bro, don't call me that. But there's so...
Outrun them now. So
Yeah, and it's like, rah, I never thought that I'll be driving past my old people, like standing on the corner smoking crack. And these are things that mentally you have to be strong to deal with, where you're like, I can't help him. Because if I bring it, I remember I went and I tried to help a man. And this is a man from Hackney that people knew. Big time drug dealer. He got robbed, they tortured him, threw him out the window, he ended up in jail. And the guy befriended me online, and silly me thinking that, oh, he's got no friends, I've got no friends, let's be friends. Worst mistake I ever done. Within 2 months, the guy's reporting me to the police, saying that I'm threatening him. I didn't threaten him. I just said to him, look, leave me alone, but in a strong tone.
Yeah.
He called the police on me, but he didn't think I would know he called the police. So when certain things have happened, I've ended up with the file for my son and whatever else from social services. I've then seen on there, oh, there's a report from an old friend that said you threatened him. And I'm thinking, but you're a gangster drug dealer. How are you calling the police on me? But again,
I don't pick that up.
no, but again, these are the things why people don't know what I go through, why I stick to myself.
Is why I needed you to come here.
Yeah,
and have a
because
conversation.
no, it's been a journey and a half. The amount of people that's tried to get me locked up, it's unbelievable.
It's like the more you're getting into the state of being the mayor, running for these things, it's the more it's irking them to actually do it even more, because that's when you had so much other people behind doing funny things, is when you actually started going, man, we're doing a book and stuff like that. They weren't dead for. But you started getting to that level, it was like, you're this, you're that, like, this is happening, someone tried to report you, someone trying to do this.
Listen, my thing was this, yeah. I said, imagine I did with. So
Everybody there hoes in home trouble with your body. So hey, I help me.
I said to myself, you know what? I don't want to win this because I'm in my wrong by that, so I'm not knocking no doors. Because this isn't about running an election, this is about making a statement. And that 1.5 minute speech I done at the end was all I wanted to do. My whole running that layer thing was for that speech. And I look back and I say to myself, imagine people sit there waiting for you to get to your highest peak. If they don't send a woman to come try act like she fancies you, they send one man to come friend you up, or they send one your own family to come try set you up. I have family members that, oh, I'm gonna help you run the election, and I'm thinking about you, drug dealer. Don't come them. Who sent you over here? You know what you have to think?
Oh, senor.
Has the police send you to set me up? I'm like, why? And it makes you paro where you don't want no one. Anytime you see me, I'm always alone because I can't afford for somebody else's problems to become my problem because I'm ready to get a check at any
I
time.
know you find like the highest we go, everyone's intentional.
Yes. Even if they don't mean it, it's like someone will ring you and say to you like,
You're right.
you okay? That's the first phone call. Then you get another phone call like the week after. You start getting scared because it's like, what are you up to?
Twice in 1 month.
Twice in 1 month. You see, by the third time, you're going to know why that person's ringing you, whether they say it or not. And it's bad to live like that where you can't just have people ring you just to check how you are.
So it's also if I can get through, or if I can
So much.
get this, or if I can do whatever.
Yeah?
Yep.
Or the worst one is, lend me this. I'm like, what?
Can you get a ticket?
What I could get off. This artist is covered over. Can you get in there? I'm like, what do you think I am? I had a woman yesterday tell me, oh, I'm not going to pay my solicitor because I know if you put your name on the passport form, I'll get my passport because you've helped two of my other friends get those. And I'm like, woman, what do you think
What
this is?
assumption is that?
But this is what people believe, that when they ring you, whatever they ask you for, you could get it done. Little do they know that sometimes I'm having to do things like literally beg.
That's why sometimes even when people DM me, or I do my shadow work with people, like I say, or even like starting this, I had to make a disclaimer. I am not a cancer advocate. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a nutritionist. I cannot cure you. I can only talk what I did to help me stay where I am now, methods that I use for my mental, things that I use to kill my habits.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
And if it works for you,
It might can have, yeah.
It's like the other day I made a video, I'm saying to everyone was panicking. And I said to them, listen, if the armed police pull you over and you got time to take your clothes off, take your clothes off. But I'm not telling you to take your clothes off because you might go take your clothes off and get shot.
Okay.
You understand? But I'm just saying, if it was me and I had enough time, that's what I'll do, just not to get killed. And again, it's sad that we're at a point where we're having to have these conversations, but we also have to protect ourselves. And I think one of the reasons why I keep to myself is that you'll invite me somewhere, yeah, and I'll turn up and I'll stay for 5 minutes. I won't even tell you I'm leaving. I'll be going.
Yeah.
So now people know
I know, that's it.
when now putting my jacket on, I'm going. I'm not saying bye. So people now get used to it. And I like it because
Yeah. Did you see him? Also, did you see him? No, I heard he was there.
yeah, but I'm gone because you know what it is? I'm starting not to like being around certain people.
And when you outgrow the room and then you step back in the room, it's like, I left this 20 years ago. And we're at this age and you're coming to me with the same conversation, this actual same 4 words, or the same approach, the same tone, the same look. the person who still stands up the same way. So it's just like, I understand that because I haven't been. I'll go to where I feel like I want to go, even though sometimes I could be in a room. People might think, how come she's there? But my mental's up for that today.
You get to the point where somebody. I remember I went to a party once, and a guy came up to me and said, "Gwenton, why are you here with us?" Like, I felt so uncomfortable. He was like, "I'm happy to see you,
Yeah.
but why are you there with us?" And I thought, rah. And I didn't even want to go, you know. That was the worst thing. I see when he said that. Once my Red Bull finished, I was gone. And the whole way home, I felt raw. The guy actually felt like, well, my own cousin that he's in here, yeah, last year or the year before. I know what he said. I'm not even going to phone him because what I'm planning to do for my 40th,
You might look.
I can't invite him out. A part of me felt good because I'm like, at least now people are learning that
Yeah.
we're different.
Yeah.
But I felt a bit disrespected that a man still didn't invite me. You know that? It's
Gotta be invited, but you don't want to.
yeah. So I thought, right, I didn't even get invite. Up to this day, until he watches this, he won't know that
Yeah.
I know he had a big rave at some
Yeah.
club or something. But even women. I remember I look back now, certain women, and when I was growing up, I'm like, even if I could see their leg, I would die to see their leg. And now I look at that, I think, God, thank you so much. Because the protection was real, because I could have had a baby with one of these. Listen, you wouldn't even know. There's certain. I remember one woman one time, first come to the country. Them time there, I thought you didn't have to cream the bottom of your foot.
Yeah.
So I've gone to her house and she's like, oh, you have to take off your shoes. Them time I got on like black socks, but they're like different black socks. And she laughed at my socks. That stayed with me forever. See, when I'm running for mayor now, she come try to talk to me. I had to say to her, you forget when you run joke about my socks? She's like, when was this? I said, when I first come here, you made jokes about my socks, and people don't understand when you do things to people as kids here, they remember. Remember, I'm dark skinned, you know. So when I was growing up, you had to be a bad boy to get girls.
Yeah.
So if you are,
Our era was good. Well, our generation's light skin era.
I either had to make money or be bad, or you was getting no airplay. So when the season changed that, when dark skinned men were like gold dust, as a dark skinned man, you have to learn to control yourself because people's moms were throwing themselves at you, man's wife, they didn't care. And you're like, yo, I'm not into that. They're like, nah, I think you're nice. And it's like, now I know why like people like pastors and all that get themselves in trouble, because when you get to a certain level, it's like women think you've got an energy that they want. And
I think it's seeing that. Sometimes I feel like women get into that thing when they watch men go from a certain way and transition and grow. Because remember, men take longer to grow and mature than women. So if we get to a certain age and we're like, all right, now we've got to wait for this whole generation to get to where our mind. Even so, some women they ain't got no mindset, but for some, you got to wait for the males to catch up a little bit, and then we've got to help them through their transition while we're trying to transition ourselves and trying to keep our head and try to. So like I feel like they like to see a man step out of the comfort zone. What the rest of the 10 is. So
it's that whole James Bond kind of thing where
yeah. You
my
step
man,
the same leader thing, and then you've
and that was
grown,
over
you've got
there.
the strength, you've walking by yourself. Oh, that means he can lead me. There's a thing about women right now about men leading.
Yeah, and I'm not available, so it's not gonna happen. And I think one of the worst thing is this: when you see someone and their car hasn't even got an engine in there, and they're trying to talk to you, like, how dare you? Yeah. But I remember women used to look at me like that, like, right, you ain't even got a chance. And you look now and you think to yourself, you know what? Now I get how celebrities get themselves in trouble, because if you've got a weakness for gambling, gambling will reach you. If you've got a weakness for women, women will reach you. Whatever if it's drugs, drugs will reach you. Whether it's alcohol, whatever you're even gambling. I've seen man murder man over gambling. Like literally gamble the man's money and invite him to play PlayStation and shoot him in the back of the head. That's wild. You understand? So for me, what I've tried to do is make sure that I don't have no weaknesses. I'll go out Christmas party, I'm not drinking.
That's what I say. Being very focused, having the leadership, like coming to the term, having the leadership, and then staying focused and making sure whatever you stay on that path, and no matter what little habits come, you got to still go. Like there was before Christmas, loads of chaos,
Yeah.
and I still recorded. I still come down.
Yeah.
I'm still here with the views or without the views. This is my focus. This is what I want to do now. I'm not procrastinating no more. And I find it's making it easier for me. And it's making it easier for me to, when the small habits do come and try and trigger, I can more say, oh, no, I can keep stay on it. So I'm proud of myself for kind of sticking with that bit for once.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to see you on board as well. Even
Looking to the one thing.
when the new year come and I see you popping your champagne, even though I don't say nothing, in my head I'm thinking, oh, so she's gonna continue for 2025, because obviously I know certain things going on in the background and whatever else, but it's to see that you haven't allowed that to stop you doing what you're doing. And again, what I found with even doing podcasting and them stuff, it's a release from the real world. It's like once you're here and you're on set, you could be whoever the hell you want to be until the cameras are off and whatever else. And I think a lot of people don't know how to just relax and just
I was
be.
finding hard. The feet just ran to keep shaking the brakes, keep learning things about myself. And there's loads I want to talk about.
Yeah.
What we can't talk about, everything and anything. Certain situation, just how the system runs right now. But is why it's important for me to open the CIC and have my wellness center. It's because things that I cannot talk about but can show to make someone else feel and understand, that's the only way I can do it. And I feel like with having my my wellness center, my recovery center, I'll be able to more even be myself and be more passionate to help those go through the stuff that we can talk about stuff, but I'm not here to bash the NHS. I'm not here to bash, any charities and stuff like that. But there's still a lot of things that's not in place for us. Diversity, diagnosis, how we going to be diagnosed, how we going to be recovered, how we going to be, going forward to tackle it. So that's why I think with my recovery center, I've been able to come in and having these discussions. Hopefully then I can make like some surveys that I can put to people, start some different accredited courses, show that with other people's surveys, like I'm saying, I'm going through how we're going to help this system. Because to me, we can all go to a charity, but a charity can always do so much. What are we going to do as a community? Like you said, you spoke a few times, you said drug dealers. I'm not saying drug money, but there's people out here that's got fingers in different pies. How are we going to all come together and do something so we can bring to the NHS, so we can sit down on a panel of people at King's College, so we can sit down and have our own conferences where Big Pharma can sit down and listen to us?
My thing is this: if a drug dealer, a prostitute, or a robber goes to wherever they pray once a week, they put their tights. Nobody complains about their tights. My thing is this now. We have to also think about the people that are invisible. And the invisible people are the children and the partners. There's nothing set up to help no one's children.
My
partners.
children did not get
They have to go
form of therapy, no form of nothing. My kids were losing their hair. They were misbehaving, running away, doing all sorts, because they have to handle and watch their mum. And there was no release place for them to go. They had to watch their mum go through everything. Till at the time, my daughter's 3 or 4, and she knows it's chemo day. Let me get the bucket for mum. Let me make sure that the bathroom's available. Let me make sure these things are put in down. And I feel like it was good that they went through it with me because it got them a bit resilient and able to help. But there was no one to help me help them.
Yeah.
And there's only so much that my mum could do or my partner could do, because they've got their life. They've got to still hold up their side of the bargain and do whatever. But go into social services. If they come to your house when you've got cancer, just because your kids have got toys, there's no safeguard. Do you understand what I'm saying? But they don't see that type of thing. And I'm not going to be going through cancer and even my kids not washing them and not doing it. You got to be even more want to make sure that your kids are fine. So you don't get help. It was a bit of a struggle to get like an A space. They have them things in school so they could get therapy. Like I had to push for these things and it had to be, I'm trying to stay alive myself. Trying to get an appointment with the GP is a job. Every other 2 weeks I'm in for treatment. Some treatments I have to go for treatment and still pick them up from school to get home before I'm even being sick. So it's a hard thing. And I'm trying to, now I've recovered, I'm talking to GPs. I still can't get appointments properly. I still can't get social workers. I'm still dealing with my kids' traumas on top of my own. And a lot of people are not strong enough to sometimes they're like, take my kids.
But even
Oh, I can't handle it. Or I'm just not taking my
memory. The memory of it. I remember when I went at the hospital, my sister was dying, yeah. I said to her, relax, man. So that's how me and her was. You think like we're brothers. And I'm like, relax, you're good, man. Whenever the thing done it, no, this way is I could dead tonight. And I realized that just by being there and saying the words to her was like, oh yeah, I remember who I am.
Yeah,
Like
this is shake up a little.
Yeah, this is how we grow. You understand? And I'm like, yo, turn on the TV either. Because you're sitting in there with the TV off. And 9 o'clock then, right, nobody else can have made you turn that TV on, but like brother's there now, it's good. So I remember I said to her, look, man, you reach 51. Mum didn't even make it to 40. So I can't remember how old she, no, I said mum didn't make it to 32 or something. She said, no, she was 31. I thought, right,
You remember it's coming back.
better day. She said mom died in January. She didn't make it to her birthday. For me now, that's not a big deal. Them things there
It
don't,
was a long time, yeah.
I don't even clock that she didn't even make it to her birthday. But what that reminded me at that spot was, although your siblings, my trauma and the way you take trauma is different. You understand? Because I'll be the sibling that everyone that act like I'm good, innit? What? You vomiting, come, we'll wash that up, no problem. You keep it moving, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you're thinking, oh, my man's good. But when they said, listen, I was like, right, this is madness. And that just taught me something that, you know what? Although you think people are cool, they're not cool. They're pretending to be
Me
cool.
being the only girl and having my brothers, I learned, whereas I used to have like little things in my older brother, as you would know, stuff like that. It's not until, like I said, I had cancer, I realized, oh, that's how he shows love. Oh, that's how he understands it. Okay, that's why he acts like that, because when he feels useless, that's where that comes from. So even if we work for that now, I will still have these same things. Oh, he's just the way he is, and my little brother's just the way he is. And it's not that, it's that, oh, I have to understand, even though we're siblings, our thought process, we're three, we're three, cool. I do, and that's even going up again and taking leadership. That was one of the things that had to make me take leadership, because my brother's known for being one thing. I'm not him. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then a lot of people want to impose that onto me, or because of his actions now, you've got me up. Some people I don't even know. And they got me up, I don't know you. I've never seen you before. But you know who I am. But I don't know who you are. So I have to be very wary. Like you're saying, I don't know why this girl's talking to me. I'm not good. I never used to be girly. Why you want to be my friend? It's something,
Because
that.
she likes your brother.
Oh, something. So you're just like, he's on my age. All right, then. Or if he dissed you now, you don't want to chat to me. There's nothing to do with me. I didn't know. Or anything. It could just be anything that I'm the only girl. My mind's different. I'm not the same. And it had to take me to get an adult for people to actually see that she's not the same. I mean, to take myself out of the equation for them to be like, okay, that's what it is.
So for me, what I would say is this. My learning as an adult and where I've got to is this. I'm not Superman and I'm human. And it's still taking me a long time to learn that. I think having girls make a man have to be a big soul. Because, yeah, when you got boys, you're like, I'm going to train you like a warrior. I remember my son called me yesterday and he said to me, you know what? I get it now. 'Cause I used to tell him, yo, sit down and hold the corner and stop moving. And to him, I was like an army man.
Yeah.
But when you have to go sit down and hold the corner, you don't think, Rob, I'm glad you taught me that because
It's easy for me where I am.
all right.
Yeah.
So when you have daughters, you then learn that you can't be cutting smile, not well funny. You understand that?
You never really had, yeah.
Never. I don't run joke. I'm just serious, ready to go anytime. So when you have daughters there, they're like, Dad, why don't you smile?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't really find that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and all of that. And I'm like, I'm not really into that. My parents didn't do that with me. I was just, you're good in it. And I realized that, right, this is messed up. You then have to start telling your kids you love them and they want hugs and kisses or
Daddy brush my hair.
yeah, all of that.
You gotta be in there. Miss me like a flag.
Yes, sir. Don't get me confused. Yeah, the only thing I'm not doing, I don't dress up and them tea that, but I will drink the fake drink, eat the food and them feed it. But I've had to learn, and that's where I learned that as a parent, you can mess at your own kids. Because of your own traumas, you can mess at your own kids. And when I look at my dad now with my kids, I'm like, I never got that. What's all that about? You know that, but you realize that the grandchildren get treated differently to how you
Because it's what they installed in you, make it say, oh, it worked. So their kids are different now and it's a different time. So they can have more of that time, but they don't have to enforce nothing that they did with us. Yeah.
But what we don't want is for our children to grow up so soft that they go back to struggling.
Well, these are the discussions, things that have to have, because I still install certain things in my kids, like hand washing.
Yeah.
You have to hand wash your underwear. Yeah, girl. And no matter where you go, you have to do them.
Because you might not have a machine.
Have to learn how to clean up after yourself. You have to know as a girl. And I told them from early, or when they don't seem to understand, yeah, I'm telling you from early. I know this soft, I can't do it. At school, they said it's this or it's that, this self-diagnosis stuff that they do it. Yeah,
Depressed.
yeah, sis. I took this out of my kids from young. You're fired. What are you talking about depression? I know you might hear it around, but you're not depressed. There's nothing about
I think one thing I learned with this country is this. To be a leader, you have to ignore some of the things installed in you in school. School installs weakness and excuses.
And for us as black children, I think that that's what's the hard thing, and that's what we're fighting.
Yeah.
When you get to school, you're fighting to be heard and be seen. Then they're fighting you down to not be yourself with your own traditions that you have to have that
No character.
no character. Sit down, be bored, just listen to what I've got to say. That doesn't make sense. That's not going to help me when I leave school, because that's all I hear from these young ones. Like, I'm sitting in this classroom and it's got nothing to do with what I can go home and AI and do my business plan, learn everything that you've been teaching me for 5 years in that hour, because my brain's fast enough to pick it up. They're still teaching on textbook level or certain things where
The board.
or the board, even though you're using iPads, but it's still not benefiting for them. So I feel like that's where the connection is, and putting our weaknesses and not installing our kids where when you fall down off your bike, get up, get right back on that bike. I'm not wiping you off, I'm not dusting you off.
Yeah, you have to do like yourself. I think if someone was to ask me what advice I'll give someone out there now is this. First thing is stay in control of your mental health. The first thing. No matter how hard it gets, control your mental health. See, once your mental health is controlled, you could do anything in this place. But you have to have that under control first. Learn to listen to your body, because if you don't, your body will teach you a lesson. And have good people around you. Good, loyal people around you. You don't need more than 3.
No more than
If you
and
don't-
if they onto you, take it. They're the ones that care.
You need, and if people are going to be around you, make sure that they're not around darkness that they could bring to transfer to you. Because that's something else, you know. You could have the nicest people around you, but when they leave you, they're going around dark people, and the darkness that them people are doing isn't coming back with them. So keep your circle clean, work. And that's me. But again, I give thanks, and this is all I know. You understand? I can't fake it. I can't pretend to be someone else. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. God knows what I do next. You understand that something come to me tonight, I'll just try it. If it works, that'll be my next thing. But I'm not here to say that I'm gonna be a movie star. I'm gonna be a singer. If a man told me, yeah, you could come do a song with me and stay a couple things on the song and I can make a money, you might see me do a song, but yeah, I'm not precious like that. You understand? They'll come down to the back in the suits. Listen, man, 6 more months in that thing. I might be a man's backup dancer. I know business. You understand? So that's just me. I'm just an opportunist. And if more people are ready to try something, they'll be happier in life. A lot of people are too scared, though. And this is what we talk about anxiety. There's anxiety and social anxiety. When you feel that feeling of, or that voice tells you, don't do that, or that's going to be hard, ignore that, because that's what holds you back.
Yeah.
Or stay at home today. You can go next week.
That's the time you get up and get dressed and go out.
That's where you go. Because the minute that you allow that to happen 1 week, it might happen next week.
And in a month, 2 months gone and you're still in the same place. That was happening with me. I wasn't getting out of bed. I wasn't brushing my teeth properly. I wasn't doing. I was just in my willow of, I'm just sick. I might die. I don't want to go sleep. I don't want to do these things. But then once I started being like, get up, even though you can't move, get up and just get out of the bed. Sit on top of the bed. Make your bed and sit on top of the bed. Put on the TV. Then it's like, all right, shower. All right, have your lunch. And you do that for the first 3-4 days. It's like, okay, I can go outside now. Let me go for a walk. Even to just down to the bottom of the road and turn back. And then it gradually gets there. And then it starts to feel good. And then when you start hearing them things, it's like, oh, not today, Satan. I'm getting up.
Yeah.
You can't get up.
And that, I think more people need to have that. And again, don't feel sorry for yourself, because another thing I hear people say is, oh, but nobody wants to support me. No one owes you nothing.
Nothing.
Nobody owes you nothing.
No one's going to fix you. No one's going to get there apart from yourself. It's when you're on the path and you're helping yourself, that's when the help starts coming to you. You have to step out there for it to attract and for it to start coming to you. Nothing's going to come to you. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to, you're not going to get the results that you want.
And don't lie to yourself as well, because I got some friends and they're dark. Or not me, they're not even my friends because they think they are. They're not real friends. But they're dark. When I mean their soul's dark. But they pretend to be good people. You know, like they'll give you stuff, be nice to you, and you could end up falling for it. But it's something they want from you. They want you around them.
Yeah.
They want your eulogy.
And this is what the problem was. It's the first time round, because the first time I was starting a documentary, remember? I span round, they tried to offer it to Channel 4 without me. Well, you got my kids. You know what I'm saying? Then someone else invites you on their show. Then you don't hear from them. They don't even tell you thank you, because it's just like, oh, she's that at the time. Let's just get her down to make it look like we care about her.
And then
I have to deal with that.
Yeah.
I have to do, like, at my vulnerable time, you used me. And you would have done that on a normal day. So these are the things where I had to keep taking a break, like 0, 11 up, strengthen up.
And the thing is, again, which we want people to understand is, you don't want to get ghetto with people, because that's what
me anymore.
Oh, that's what makes you. I remember, I'm gonna be real. My whole life, yeah, I've been on road, I've been jail, I've been shot, everything. I've never been a victim. You know, when I become a victim, when I start not fighting back, and it is painful. I've been bullied. Trust me, I'm not ashamed to say.
Like, people don't touch you, you got to keep your mouth closed. You've got to stay.
Bully me, they call the police on me, they do all sorts, and I have to take all of it. And I'm like, sometimes I don't know how to cope, because I'm like, how do you
Told you keys in it, and you've got to take the 5 minutes like Zen, like, okay, you can't do it.
Because remember this, I act out a character. I got people that work for me. I got people that associate with me. So I have to breathe now. Remember, it's not just me. It's not just me. My youths are watching me as well. I have to
That was
take
times,
that away.
there's times I put on the camera, and the things I'm talking about, I let it out. It's like, when I'm watching it back, I'm saying, nah, I wonder, because they've done yourself. I can't see yourself before you even start. But it's passionate what I actually feel about it. It's like, Sarah, learn about your vocab, learn about your delivery. If you want to change, you can't just come out, be the same ghetto type of people, because you can't fight. Even though I know that I've got the strength to, but I don't want to be going out fighting people.
The thing is, you haven't even got that privilege anymore, because it's like, you could build an empire, and that one moment of someone capturing you on camera acting out a character will be remembered longer than your whole empire that you built. And I think
For me, if someone was to ask me, what is the most painful part of the journey? It is that. Being a civilian and knowing that if somebody come try to do me something, I might have to call 999 or
For the rest.
or follow the law where I'm allowed to restrain them until the police come.
That's what I'm learning now.
I had to learn that path. It's been painful. And when people take advantage of me and I feel the devil coming up, I have to breathe and let them get away with it. And what you learn is the more some people see that you're not fighting back, is the more they take advantage.
And then you have to snap, and then you have to thing it, and then you have to just shut it down nice and diplomatically, different to what they expected. And then it's like, oh, so Nami didn't come out. She's actually cool and calm. Is she actually all right? Is she going to be... Because now they don't know how to take you, because where I used to be 0 to 100 and shut things down, now I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you bring me to this place? Why would you try and trigger me? Why are you... And it's like, they don't know how to answer. So now they want to argue with you now, but why are you arguing?
Yeah.
Why are you all abrupt? Why is your body language all changed? You came to me and tried to trigger me, and now I'm asking you, why are you triggering me?
Yeah.
Is why I'm learning now
To deal with them.
how to deal with things,
So
to make things...
and if it gets out of hand, what I have learned is season desist. And that feels good, you know. When people trouble me, like, I ring up my lawyer and find out if I can deal with them. And if the lawyer says that's not worth us sending them a letter, then I have to realize that that's not worth my time.
Yeah.
Come here.
And he's sorry about that,
It's not. Do me some more damage so I can send you a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but happy to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I think it was really worth it. I'm happy that you came there and be able to have a normal conversation. Everyone can see you in a different light as well.
Was the backup first.
Oh, so never the backup person. We needed him first. I wanted to make a statement and have you there first. But this is leadership and focus, and that's my aim on this, Mom.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to be here. My thing is, we just always have to be humble. And when you see your people doing stuff, go and support. It's taking an hour out of my life, but at the end of the day, if we could help someone else sitting at home now, probably thinking that they're the end of the rope, that's good enough for me. You understand?
And we are going to be working together and doing things in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, look out. Like I said, I've got this, you've got this, we've got this. See you again soon.